Did you know that just 1% of people control 40% of the world's wealth? That's right, while the rest of us scramble for a paycheck, the top 1% are playing an entirely different game. They're not smarter or luckier, they've simply mastered the art of thinking, living, and learning in ways most people don't even consider. Imagine having the ability to turn every challenge into an opportunity. Picture living a life where your time is your most valuable asset, not money. What if you could learn from the habits of billionaires, not just their successes? In this video, we're diving deep into the secret strategies that the wealthy use to stay ahead of everyone else. You'll discover how they think differently, how they create lasting legacies, and how they approach learning and teaching in ways that multiply their wealth. So, if you're ready to stop doing what everyone else is doing and start doing what the rich have been doing for decades, keep watching. It's time to get ahead of the 99%. Chapter 1. Born with a mindset. It's not about wealth, it's about wealthy thinking. When it comes to wealth, the biggest differentiator isn't how much you earn, it's how you think. The rich don't just work for money, they make their mindset work for them. Take Warren Buffett, for instance. He believes that the most important investment you can make is in yourself. But how do you invest in your mindset? Start by adopting a growth mindset. People with this mindset are always learning and adapting, even when things get tough. A study by Stanford psychologist Carol Dweck shows that those with a growth mindset achieve higher success because they see failures as lessons, not roadblocks. The rich are also laser-focused on opportunities, not obstacles. Instead of complaining about a problem, they're always asking, how can I fix this? For example, Elon Musk revolutionized space travel, not because he had endless resources, but because he saw potential in what others overlooked. The lesson here is clear. Train your mind to seek solutions, not focus on challenges. Another key mindset shift is the rich's belief in time over money. While most people hustle for the next paycheck, the wealthy hustle for time. Time is their most precious asset. According to research by the Bureau of Labor Statistics, the wealthiest 10% spend more time on leisure and intellectual pursuits, not on labor-intensive jobs. They understand that money can be earned again, but time cannot. If you want to get ahead, the first thing to do is change the way you think. The wealthy are always thinking bigger and longer term, constantly looking for ways to multiply their time and opportunities. Start thinking about how you can turn every challenge into a chance to grow. Chapter 2. Living for legacy, not for status. Creating your own path to wealth. We often associate wealth with flashy cars, designer clothes, and luxury homes. But the truly wealthy know that real success isn't about outward appearances. It's about building something that lasts, creating a legacy. Steve Jobs didn't create Apple for the fame. He created it to change the world. He once said, "The people who are crazy enough to think they can change the world are the ones who do." The wealthy have a long-term vision that goes beyond material possessions. They focus on what they can leave behind for future generations. Take the Rothschild family, who amassed their fortune over centuries. Their wealth wasn't built overnight. They lived and invested with an eye on the long game, focusing on generational wealth rather than short-term gains. This principle isn't just for billionaires. It's for anyone who wants to get ahead. You need to start thinking about your legacy now. What are you building that will last? This might mean choosing quality over quantity, focusing on assets that appreciate, or developing businesses that can outlive you. This mindset shift also extends to how the rich view their relationships. They invest in meaningful connections, not just networking for the next opportunity. They know that helping others succeed is one of the fastest ways to build wealth. As motivational speaker Jim Rohn said, "You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with." Surround yourself with people who encourage your vision, and focus on mutual success, not just your own. Chapter 3. The power of learning like a wealth magnet. Lessons that make or break success. When most people think of learning, they picture school or formal education. But the wealthy know that true learning is ongoing and often self-directed. They are constantly absorbing new information to stay ahead of the curve. In fact, some of the wealthiest individuals, like Bill Gates, spend about 5 hours a week reading. Bill Gates credits much of his success to his reading habits, saying, "We always overestimate the change that will occur in the next 2 years and underestimate the change that will occur in the next 10. The wealthy focus on learning what matters, skills, trends, and knowledge that can directly impact their businesses and investments. They are less concerned with trivial knowledge and more interested in deepening their expertise. As the saying goes, the more you learn, the more you earn." This is why successful people like Richard Branson are lifelong learners, constantly picking up new skills to stay relevant. If you want to get ahead, start prioritizing the right kind of learning. The rich tend to spend their time learning from books, experts, and experiences that challenge their thinking. For instance, Ray Dalio, the founder of Bridgewater Associates, credits much of his success to the idea of radical transparency. Dalio writes about it in his book, Principles, saying, "Truth, more precisely, an accurate understanding of reality, is the essential foundation for any good outcome." The good news is, learning like the rich doesn't require formal education or expensive classes. It just requires a commitment to self-improvement. You can start by reading books on entrepreneurship, personal development, and finance, or by seeking out mentorship from people who have the knowledge you need. It's important to be strategic about how you learn. The wealthy are constantly adapting and pivoting based on new information. They view every piece of knowledge as an opportunity to get closer to their goal. In a world where information is readily available, the real question is, are you using it to your advantage? Don't forget to subscribe for more insights on how to transform your life with the strategies of the rich. Chapter 4. Teaching the Unseen Wealth Principles. How the rich turn knowledge into value. The wealthy don't just keep their knowledge to themselves, they share it. They understand that teaching others can create immense value, both for them and for those they mentor. Think about the success of the late Tony Robbins. His seminars, books, and coaching programs have helped millions, and in the process, Robbins has built an empire. His quote, "The secret to living is giving," sums up the rich's approach to wealth. They multiply their success by teaching others. One of the most powerful tools for wealth building is mentorship. The rich often find mentors who guide them through complex decisions. In fact, a study from the University of Michigan found that 70% of people with a mentor report achieving higher levels of success. Wealthy individuals often become mentors themselves because they know the value of sharing wisdom. By helping others, they build networks and cultivate loyalty that can lead to future opportunities. Teaching also involves creating systems that can pass down knowledge. Take the example of Jeff Bezos. Bezos built Amazon with a culture that emphasized constant learning and sharing knowledge, saying, "We are stubborn on vision. We are flexible on details." His approach ensured that the wealth of knowledge within the company was continuously passed along, making Amazon a constant innovator. This type of culture leads to exponential growth, as ideas are nurtured and shared. When you teach, you're also creating leverage. Rich people don't rely solely on their own efforts. Instead, they multiply their impact by inspiring and empowering others to succeed. The best way to get ahead of the 99% is to not just focus on personal growth but on uplifting those around you. Teaching others not only builds your legacy but also creates value that comes back to you in unexpected ways. Chapter 5. The Hidden Habits That Shape Millionaire Minds. Unconventional rituals for peak performance. The rich have a way of structuring their day that helps them operate at peak performance. These habits aren't necessarily things that everyone is doing. They're often unconventional, yet they make a huge difference in their success. One example is the billionaire entrepreneur Tim Cook. He's known for waking up at 3:45 a.m. every morning. According to Cook, his early rise allows him to have quiet time to think, plan, and get ahead of the day. Most of us aren't waking up that early, but it's an example of how habits can shape productivity. Another key habit of the wealthy is their commitment to physical health. Studies show that 70% of the world's richest people regularly exercise. Mark Cuban, for example, works out every morning before heading to work, which he credits for maintaining his energy and focus. Regular exercise boosts brain function, lowers stress, and sharpens focus. It's a simple habit, but it's one that the rich prioritize because they know that their bodies are key to sustaining their success. Wealthy people also use rituals to keep their minds sharp. Billionaire investor Charlie Munger follows a strict reading habit. He reads for 6 hours a day. Munger believes that reading is the best way to increase mental power. The rich use time to recharge, whether it's with books, meditation, or other activities that promote mental clarity. These habits aren't just about getting ahead, they're about sustaining long-term success. In fact, research from the National Institute of Health shows that high achievers consistently develop habits that enhance their mental focus, clarity, and well-being. For instance, having a morning routine helps you prioritize your day. Successful people use that time to align their actions with their values, allowing them to focus on what really matters. Finally, the rich tend to surround themselves with people who challenge them to grow. According to a study by the National Bureau of Economic Research, people are more likely to succeed when they interact regularly with high achievers. So, by networking with like-minded, motivated individuals, the wealthy amplify their own habits of success. Chapter 6. Thinking like the 1%. How the rich play the game of wealth, and win every time. The final step to getting ahead of 99% of people is mastering the mindset of the top 1%. It's not about working harder, it's about working smarter. One of the biggest strategies the wealthy use is thinking long-term. While most people focus on short-term gains, the rich are always planning for decades into the future. Jeff Bezos has said, "We are willing to lose money for a long time to build a position of leadership." This long-term vision allows them to take calculated risks that others may shy away from. The rich understand the power of leverage. They know how to multiply their resources. For example, using borrowed capital or partnerships, they can scale businesses faster. Robert Kiyosaki, author of Rich Dad Poor Dad, highlights the importance of leveraging debt as a tool for building wealth. According to Kiyosaki, the wealthy know that using other people's money, OPM, can propel them forward, while many average people fear debt and avoid it. Another game-changing strategy is thinking in terms of abundance, not scarcity. The wealthy are always looking for opportunities to expand, while others might settle for what they have. They see the world as full of possibilities. A report by the McKinsey Global Institute found that those who think in terms of abundance are more likely to innovate and create new solutions, leading to greater wealth. The rich don't compete for existing resources, they create new ones. Lastly, the rich embrace calculated risk-taking. They don't avoid risk, they manage it. Richard Branson, for example, has started over 40 companies. His mantra is to take risks with passion, knowing that some ventures will succeed and others won't. According to a study by the Harvard Business Review, taking strategic risks is a common trait among entrepreneurs who build lasting wealth. The wealthy understand that playing it safe isn't the route to massive success. They'd rather bet on themselves and their ideas. The mindset of the 1% also includes continuous self-reflection. They regularly evaluate their goals, progress, and habits. Successful people like Bill Gates and Warren Buffett take time each year to reflect and assess their strategies. This ability to pivot and adjust is crucial for staying ahead in a world that's constantly changing. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon to get more insights on how to transform your life with the strategies of the rich.